Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to Classical GS and today I am going to take a session on Sufi movement. So let's begin. So within Islam, Sufi movement was basically a reform movement. Reform movement within Islam. So Sufism, which is also known as Tasawwuf, which are various mystical movements under Islam. Okay. So, Sufism was basically originated in Persia, which is a modern day Iran, and it introduced in India in 11th century. And in Indian subcontinent, the first Sufi saint was Sheikh Ismail. Sheikh Ismail, and he was from Lahore. And the name of the first female Sufi saint, first female Sufi saint, her name was Rabia, and she used to exist during the 8th century AD. And there was a guy whose name was Mansur al-Hallaj, which is declared myth by many Islamic historians, and he gave the concept of Ana al-Haq, Ana al-Haq, which means I am Allah. But this concept was misunderstood by the people. They thought that this guy is declaring himself as a god, but at the reality, he mean to say that I am truth. That means here Allah is considered as truth. And under Sufism, there are two philosophies. The first one is Wahadat al-Wajud. Wahadat al-Wajud. And the second one is Wahadat us Shahud. So Wahadat al-Wajud means God is everywhere. God, that is Allah, is everywhere. And there is no difference between God and human soul. They are same. The concept of Wahadat al-Wajud is same as the teachings of Vedanta under Hinduism. That is the concept of Dvait and Advait. While Wahadat us-Suhud advocated that Allah, that is God, and humans are not equal, are unequal. So these two philosophies are opposite to each other. Sufism gave the concept of ilm shakina, ilm e shakina, along with the concept of ilm sina. So what are these two, ilm shakina and ilm sina? So ilm sina is basically the teachings of Quran according to Prophet Muhammad. But the Sufis gave the concept of ilm sina, that means the thoughts of Allah. So they said ilm sakina is important, but ilm sina is also equally important as ilm shakina. And as per the concept of ilm sina, there are four philosophies, that is Shariat, Tariqat, Marifat, Hakikat. These are the four philosophies. So let's see one by one. So the first one is Shariat. So it is basically the Islamic law which is followed under Islam. So it has a concept of Basara and Besara. Basara means those people who follow Shariat. So those who follow Shariat. And Besara means those who don't follow it. The second one is Tariqat. That means Peer, which means Guru, or you can say a mentor. The third one is Marifat. Marifat means the feeling which you will attain after gaining the distinct knowledge. So it is feeling of truth after attaining the divine knowledge. And the last one is Hakikat. That means the ultimate truth which you will attain by Marifat. That is the God, Allah, is inside every human soul. So that means God and humans are equal. There is no difference between them. So these are the concept of ilm sina. So these are the four philosophies. We will now discuss some facts about Sufism in detail. So Sufism recognized the concept of mentor, and they used to call them peer, that is guru. They organized madrasa system for mystical education of people. They advocated that there is a direct communication between the God and human soul, which they said was the experience of mysteries which lies within Islam. They developed Khanka system. which is basically the residence of Sufis. Residence of Sufis. And Khankas are set mostly in northern part of India. Northern India. And Mazar, these were the tombs of Sufis. Tombs of Sufi saints. And the tomb Takia refers to the resting place of Sufis. And the Sufism was patronized by both the aristocrats and by the common people. Aristocrats in the sense the sultans of that time. And there is a literature known as Kashf al-Malzub. Kashf al-Malzub, which is written by al-Hadviri, and this is considered as authentic and accurate manuals of Sufism. Okay, the biography of Akbar, that is Aine Akbari, Ain-e Akbari, which is written by Abul Fazl. So this book mentions 14 silsilas, or you can say Sufi orders, that were prevailing during 16th century. Out of these 14 Sufi orders, 4 Sufi orders are important and we are going to study it thoroughly, naming Chishti, Shuhrawardi, Qadri and Naqshbandi. So these are the 4 Sufi orders. So let's see one by one. So first we are going to study about Chishti Silsila. So Chishti Silsila was established by Muinuddin Chishti, Chishti, Muinuddin Chishti. This man came to India with Muhammad Ghori and he settled in Ajmer in 1206 AD. And his fame as Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti it get popularized after his death in 1235. His dargah was patronized by Akbar, and the Chishtis believed in love as a bond between humans and God. They used to live a simple life and they believe in humility and selfless devotion of God. And the Chishtis believe that the highest form of devotion can be attained by fulfilling the needs of the needy people, fulfilling the needs of needy people, that are the people who are helpless. and even by feeding those who are hungry. Those who are hungry. So we can say that this concept is equivalent to the thought of Vivekananda. Vivekananda gave the concept of salvation through social work, which is same as the concept of this, which are accepted by Chisti Silsila. So the important point is they believed in simplicity and they had nothing to do with property. Property in the sense physical property. They had they had nothing to do with money, etc. So they lead a simple and normal life. So our next topic will be Suhrawardi Silsila. So this order was founded by Shihabuddin Shurawardi in Baghdad. This guy founded the Shurawardi Silsila. And in India, this silsila was established by Bahauddin Zakaria. The Shurawardis, they accepted grants and maintenance money from the sultans. So their ideology was that a Sufi should possess property, knowledge, and mystical enlightenment, while the Chistis that doesn't accepted property as a need of Sufis. They advocated the combination of ilm, that is scholarship, with mysticism. Here, scholarship means grants by sultans for mystical knowledge. So, these were the thoughts of Suravardi Silsila. Our next topic is Naqshbandi Silsila. So, Naqshbandis were the most orthodox by their thoughts, and in India, it was established by Khwaja Bahauddin Naqshbandi. They followed the orthodox teaching of Shariat. So, they followed Shariat and at the same time they criticized the new thoughts. After Khwaja Bahauddin Naqshbandi, his successor Sheikh Baqi Billah, he settled near Delhi, and his successor was Sheikh Ahmad Sarhindi. This guy was the prominent personality under Naqshbandi Silsila, and he made an attempt in Islam to to get rid of un-Islamic practices un-Islamic practices under Islam. He opposed the listening of Sama. He opposed the listening of Sama. Sama means the religious music, and he also opposed the interaction with Hindus and Shia Muslims. The next and the last one is Qadri Silsila. It was popular in Punjab, mostly popular in Punjab, and it advocated in favor of Wahadat al-Wujud. Wahadat al-Wujud. That means God and human are equal. So they followed this principle. They had also liberal views like the Chishtis. So they also used to live a simple life just like the Chishtis. And there was a guy whose name was Mia Mir. He was the famous Sufi saint of Qadri Silsila, and he was the mentor of Darashiko. Darashiko and Jahar. They are the heirs of Shahjahan. Darashiko was the son of Shahjahan and Jahara was daughter. And they both were the disciple of Mia Mir under Qadri Silsila. So that's all for today. I hope you all will like this lecture and thank you so much.